Hey folks, today I'm going to do a video of how I cerakote guns. This one's going to be my Glock 48, and as you can see, I've already got it in the blast cabinet, sandblasting it. Now, I have left some parts out for time, but I have already soaked the slide in acetone. I've degreased it. I have put it in my oven and flashed it for roughly an hour to try to get any contaminants out of the metal itself. Luckily, this one didn't have any contaminants in the metal, so I put it back in the acetone and threw it in the blast cabinet. So, as you can see here, I am blasting the slide with my sandblaster. I use a very mild grit media for it. It is actually sand. I can't remember the grit of the media, but it's a very mild abrasive. And basically, when you're putting it in the blast cabinet, what you're really wanting to do is just add texture to the metal. You're adding texture to the metal so that the cerakote, or whatever you're putting on it, will adhere to the metal. It's kind of like putting primer on a car or a motorcycle tank or something like that before you paint it. You gotta have something there for the paint or whatever product you're using, in this case cerakote, to adhere to. So I get done sandblasting it. First thing I do is blow it off with my air hose. Then I put it back in the acetone bath. I soak it in there to get any contaminants that might be on it off. From this point forward, I'll use gloves for the most part when I'm touching the metal. So I'm going to take it out now, and I'm going to hang it up, and we'll move on to the next part. I'm going to put it in the oven again and let it flash again in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes, just to make sure no contaminants come out of the metal. That's a big thing when you're cerakoting. You don't want any contaminants, oil, any kind of oil on the metal. Now, these are the three colors I'm going to use. I'm going to use a brown, a gray, and a black. These are the Elite series of cerakotes. I like them because they're thin. I'm going to lay down my base coat with the brown color. I'm just wanting to get everything coated nice and even. One thing that's nice about this Elite series cerakote, it goes on pretty thin, and it's actually really easy to coat the parts. Now, once I'm done, I'm going to put it in the oven, and I'm going to let it flash cure for about 15 minutes at 250 degrees. Once it flash cures, I'll be able to touch it. It's still hot, but I'll be able to touch it, and this is when I'll lay on my first coat of stencils. Since this is my first layer of cerakote, I'm just going to put on a few stencils because this is the color that I want to be visible the least. So just a few stencils randomly, and then I'll get ready to put my second layer on. These stencils, I didn't really like them. They're not stencils I use from my main stencil supplier, but they worked all right, but I didn't really like them. Probably won't use them again. Not sure what type of camo pattern it was, but I just want to put them on there sporadically in random order, and then we'll go to spraying. Now I'm laying on my second base, or my second coat, which is my gray, and it doesn't have to be real thick. I probably put it on a little too thick here, and it doesn't have to be real thick. But when I get done with this coat, I'm going to check it just to make sure everything looks good. Then I'm going to put it back in the oven. Now, I put it in the oven. I've gotten it out, and I'm going to put my second layer of stencils on. Now, I'll put more stencils on this time because I want more of this color to show. This is my gun. It's not a customer's gun. So if it was a customer's gun, I would have done it a little bit different. I was just kind of rushing for this video. And if I had done this for a customer's gun, I would have probably had more color showing. Another thing is the brown didn't really contrast against the gray very well when I got done. I'd probably use a different color next time, and it would make it pop a little more. But with your second coat, you want to put more stencils on. This is a color that you want to show even more than your first layer. So I put my stencils on here. This metal is hot. It just came out of the oven. Putting my final coat on. This is black. Now I know that I did put this on too heavy. I probably should have stopped about right here, but I didn't. I went ahead and put another coat or so on there. And what it did is when I took the stencils off, when I took the stencils off, it left a little line where the stencils were. So it didn't turn out as well as I would have normally done it. But like I said, I was just doing this so I could make a video. And if I don't like it, I can always sandblast it and redo it again. But if it was a customer's gun, I would have done it different. Now I'm going to take these stencils off. Sometimes they'll peel right off, sometimes they won't. These were a little stubborn coming off, but overall they came off halfway decent. Now I've got the stencils off in this picture. You're going to see some steels here in a minute, and that's after I put it in right in here. That's after I put it in the acetone bath again and cleaned it real good. But that's how I Cerakote. I know it's not a complete detail of the Cerakoting, but that's how I do it. Maybe it'll help y'all out later on. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and share it around. Thanks.